free motion quilting. I sent out a little post there and asked what everybody wanted to see, and a couple people said you wanted to see free motion quilting. I'm hoping to every week or two do a video for you on different techniques, things that you might want to see. I'm Ron with Above and Beyond Creative Sewing, and right now we're going to do some free motion quilting on the Bernina Q16. It's a sit-down quilter. It's got lots of space here, 16 inches. They also make a Q20. You can tell this is 16 inches because it's a Q16. That's the Q20. And there's also a Q24, but the 16 and 20 have a table model, or it can go on a frame. This is a foldable table. So this table folds up. Actually, here, Kathy, can you just get a quick shot of this? This is what it looks like when it's folded up. And actually, the legs fold even closer in together, but then you wouldn't have the machine on. You would take the machine out. So it takes very little space, but you get lots of space to do your quilting on. So I don't have a whole quilt ready to go, so I made this little sandwich just to kind of show you how a free motion quilter works and what you need to do. This is a free motion foot. This is the foot that comes with the machine. On your regular machines, no matter what machine you have, I guarantee you there's a free motion foot for it. We would just have to find the right free motion foot for your machine. If you need help, just give us a call in the store or post here, and I'll be happy to help you with that. So this is foot 9. It's the regular free motion foot. There's also a ruler foot. There's echo quilting feet. There's a whole bunch of different feet you can use, but I'm just going to click on the regular one. And I want to bring up my bobbin thread, because you usually want to bring your bobbin thread up when you're going to be doing quilting. So I can just tap the pedal, and it'll lower the foot for me, and then it'll bring my, my bobbin thread up for me. So I've got both top and bottom threads right there. Okay, now right where I start there, I can tie it off by just stitching in place. Now, some of you won't want to do that. Some of you want to leave it untied off, leave a tail, and then bury that later. That's up to you. I don't care. But this is the way I'm going to do it. So I tied it off. Now I'm going to start to quilt by stepping on my pedal, but I don't have to worry about how hard I step on my pedal. My pedal is just an on-off switch. So I step on the pedal, and then as I move my fabric, it quilts. If I stop, the machine stops, and when I go, the machine goes. So all those stitches are about the same size. Now you may notice, I don't know if this shows up in the video, but when I step on the pedal, you get these two little red lights. Those are actually electric eyes, and there's one, you can see it there. And what it does is it measures how fast I'm moving so that it knows how many stitches to make, so that all the stitches are the same. And this is in what's called BSR 1. So when it's in, that's Bernina Stitch Regulator 1. And what that means is when I stop moving, so I sew and then I stop, it idles in place. And that gives me a nice sharp point. I can use BSR 2, and when I do that, I can set my stitch length, but there's no idle stitch. So I can start to sew. When I stop, it'll actually stop completely, and then I can start again. Now, when you do that, though, I don't get quite as sharp a point as I did on BSR 1, but it depends on what the technique is you're trying to do, which one you'd want to use. There's also a basting function. That's called BSR 3. Well, I have it set to 2 stitches per inch, so that would be a ½ inch. And now I can just take my quilt, put it down here, step on the pedal, and then I can baste my quilt. And then I can come over and I can baste back this way. If you were going to do free motion, you could baste the whole thing, or you could baste it if you were going to hand quilt it. So this way all the layers are together, and when you do it that way, you don't get any puckering on the bottom. It stays nice and flat. I get distracted sometimes. I'm not that smart. Then I also have a manual mode. When I touch manual mode, there's no stitch regulator at all. Now when I step on the pedal does vary speed based on what my foot is doing. And if I go slower, I get tiny stitches. And if I go quickly with the fabric, I get longer stitches. So can you see that stitch length varies there, short and then long, because it's not regulated right now. So what stitch regulating does is it makes sure that no matter how fast I move the fabric, the stitches are all the same size. So this fabric is moving nice and easily. If you have a bigger piece, you can't really just sit here like I'm doing and push from the one side and have it all go even. What you want to do is you can either wear those the gloves. You could use machine girders, or you could use like a gardening glove where you can stretch the fabric as you go. And what that'll do is it'll keep it from getting little puckers in here. But I have another tool you can use for that. If you come right over here, I love these little hoops. They have a backing on them, like a rubbery backing, and they're very heavy, and they set down like that. And then as I move, it pre-stretches the fabric and prevents the puckers. I can quilt to this section, then I just lift it, move it, and continue. And even if I have my big rest of my quilt back here, I leave like one of those. And that way, as I'm moving, the weight of the quilt, the big queen size quilt is here, but I'm really only moving this one little section. So I would have like a little belly, a little wave all the way around so that the piece I'm moving doesn't get affected by all that excess weight. So that's how you deal with all that extra fabric that you would normally have. I have a really great deal on a Q16. This is a floor model, which is on sale. And this is a trade-in. Someone actually traded, they upgraded to another machine. So this machine is used, so it is a really great price. I think it's $59.99. It's on the website. If you take a look, you can see and verify that price. Or you can call the store, or even post here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Let me show you how to work on a domestic machine, because that'd be a little bit different than these. Follow me. Oh, if you want a really low-priced option, I do have a used Baby Lock Tiara. That's a nice machine. It's not nearly as nice as the Bernina, but it is a good machine. Has a full-size M commercial bobbin, and comes with the table, and so it is a good deal. So this is the Bernina 770. This is actually the new 770 Quilters Edition Plus. We just got them in 2 days ago. It has the really, really big screen, and it has all the features a quilter wants. And the feature I'm going to show you is called BSR. So this comes with the machine. So this little accessory, packed so nice. Bernina does such a nice job with their packing. This little accessory is electronic, and it measures. That little electric eye is built in the bottom. Remember I showed you the electric eye on the other machine was facing up. This one's going to face down. So I'm going to put that on the machine in just a second. It comes with these extra feet. So there's an open toe, and that's included. And there's an echo quilting foot, and that's included. And these shoes just exchange with this one right here for whichever function you're going to do. So I'm going to use the regular foot right now. And if I did not have a Bernina, I could still do free motion. If you have questions, just either call the store or you can post and let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. But the Bernina feet make it so easy. I just take this foot here and push it up on that post and then clip it on. And that's it. It's locked in. See this little wire? I'm going to plug it in the back. You're not going to see it, but there's a little hole. It says BSR, and you just plug it right into there. Now the machine automatically tells me to lower my feed dogs. So I'll do that. And it goes right into BSR mode. So you have BSR 1, BSR 2, and BSR 3, just like I did on the commercial machine. Oh, I forgot my quilt. Excuse me, just one moment. I got my little quilt piece here. This table comes with the machine also, which is nice to give you support. I can still bring my bobbin thread up, same as I did before. So I'll just tap on my pedal, bring my bobbin thread up to the top. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to step on my pedal and just move it along. And you hear the machine go faster and slower. So as I move my hand faster, the machine goes faster so that my stitch length remains the same. It doesn't change. Now if I want to, I can hit a little button here. And now if I just tap the heel of my foot control, the Bernina foot control has that nice heel function. So I'm just going to tap the heel. That turns it on. Now I can quilt and I don't have to keep my foot on the pedal at all. So it just keeps quilting without me having to think about where my foot is or what I'm doing. I can really just concentrate on having a nice, smooth, free motion like this. I can do little waves. I like doing waves and loops. Loops are easy. Anybody can do loops. I say that, but I really only got one good loop. Those stink, don't they? All right, so I'm going to tap my heel to stop the machine. And I'm going to, when I'm done, I can exit, goes back to here. I could change my stitch length from here. I could also do it with a zigzag. So One of the nice things about using the Bernina with the BSR is I could do thread painting. Instead of using an embroidery machine, you can use your thread to paint right on your fabric. So let's just cut my thread here. And I'm going to put it to zigzag. Now it's being stitch regulated, so it's making the stitches nice and close. What I really want to do is do it without the stitch regulator. So I'm just going to unplug that for a minute. Go to a zigzag stitch, and then tell it that I'm doing free motion. And this part was unscripted, so I'm hitting extra buttons. I apologize, but I'm just going to start to stitch now. And now I can move the fabric a little bit faster. And when I go up and away, I'm going slow, so I get a nice satin stitch. And then when I turn sideways, it gets skinnier. And there's my little O for Oscar. I told you I could do it. I just had to practice a little bit. There we go. So that's free motion. So you can do free motion in a zigzag stitch when you want to do thread painting. You could actually do like a flower or different patterns. You could change the color. So like you could do the stem in green and then change to a pink for the flower and just go back and forth as a zigzag stitch. And when you do that, if I went and this way and back, see if I had, because I'm doing a zigzag, I can kind of fill. So let's say I was doing some water here. So I could have a green or a blue there. And then I could change colors from, let's say, from green to blue. And then I could go back over that a little bit with the opposite color and kind of layer and get shading. There's a lot of nice effects you can get using any machine on free motion with a zigzag setting. So maybe some of you hadn't tried that. So give that a try. That can be a lot of fun. So that's part of what you can do with free motion. If you have more questions, stop in the store. We'll be happy to show you. Thanks for watching me today. I'm Ron from Above and Beyond, and I look forward to seeing you soon.